Alright, welcome back everyone. Back to a little more routine thing. Just saw all that dust up there. Just evidence the thing's been sitting around for a little while. Another one of these is this is one of the more involved book nooks. You can see there's Sea Breeze there, and I think, let's see which ones. I think I've done Future World, Sea Breeze, and there was a Christmas one. Yeah, there's a Christmas one. I really flubbed that one up. But this is Firefly Forest, so let's pop it open and take a look at it. While I do that, I'll tell you, if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures, how I hope to fix those inevitable failures. Upload daily and try and have a good time. We're not solving the world's problems, we're just building silly little models and having fun. And empty box. Alright, let's see what we got here. What you expect from one of these kits, a nice thick book. Gotta do cutouts, no stickers. They're a standard on those. Let's see, how big is the poster of cutouts on these? Okay, it's only a 4 frames. So, not the worst I've ever seen. I'm dreading cutting those out though. Looking down. Let's say, got a bunch of small pieces, but not. I don't think anything too terrible. I don't think I'll have to do any books on this one. What is that? I thought that was... Okay, this is our... More cutouts here. Okay. There's our sheets, our dust covers, and our probably sun roof. Set you over there. What we got a 6. That's basically our sides and our front there. Okay. Thought that was instruction manual. It was not. This is the instruction manual. Okay. And these generally above average on instruction manual. They do actual photos of moderately high print quality. They're not, extra great, but it's generally enough to get the job done. Like I said, this is the 3rd or 4th one from this company I've done, so I sort of knew what to expect. And here's this one is our templates. Yeah, it's templates for cutting out and how we're going to do our wiring and different. I get probably probably some fabric and everything in there. Okay, got our sides and top or back or bottom. I'm not even sure. A little variety pack: ruler, utility knife, cheapo tweezers, and cheapo scissors. I'll probably salvage the utility knife and send the rest off to the great beyond. I don't know if that's... It feels like it might be felt, so it might have fallen out of something. No, it's just part of the box. Okay. And let's see what we got in here. Several bags of goodies to go through here. Looks like our fabric paper bag. Let's see what we got. Got some sponges, a little felt on that, some twine, and a little tube is plastic. A little bit of wire in there too, but looks like probably stems. That's okay. AstroTurf, not really, but that thing. Is that a peel and stick on the AstroTurf? It feels like it's a peel and stick. Feels like that sort of wax paper. Like it would be. Maybe not. Get a little more light on this and see. Okay, I don't think it's... This doesn't seem to be separating, so I don't think... it's trying to. Can't spend too long doing this. We only got... Okay, I'll study that some more. I'll probably that sort of crinkles. I'll probably press that in some books or something. Hopefully before we have to use it. There's some crepe paper, more crepe paper, corrugated cardboard. A couple of sheets of that. Felt, and felt. All right, set you guys. I'll get out to some. I would say, I'm showing my age. I was thinking about to say get out a phone book to press that, but I don't have a phone book. I'll find something to press it with. Probably a piece of wood. And let's see what we got in the old wood. Okay, there's some more larger sheets. That one's going to be the bottom. I always leave that off. Bits and pieces. And there's shapes and branches and birdhouses, leaves. Okay, a little variety. Spacers and those fun little bits and bobs. Okay, pop you all back in there to keep you in place. Seems like they use. Okay, then the bags are. They have the bags are labeled, so you know which one to reach for to grab the pieces as you're going through. And there's various plants and doodads and that. I'm not going to get those out because they'll go everywhere, it looks like. And I see another bag of goodies. This one is bags of bags inside it. We got some pink fluff, beads and mushrooms and flowers. There's little decorations and whatnot and who's it's and what's in there. Some more random shapes. There's our lights and switch. That's how. It's got. Okay, it's only got 2 wires on the switch. I'm probably gonna replace that with a temporary push button again, like I did on the Sea Breeze. I really like the way that worked out. I got some green fluff, a couple of mirrors, and stones, and more random shapes and pieces, decorations, and who's it's and what's it's. Sort of looks like some mushrooms there, so I imagine these are the things we're going to be gluing the cutouts to. But, okay, that's our inventory. As is typical with these, I'm just going to step aside and pull off the first couple of steps, and I'm expecting this one, if any previous attempts at this level is any indication, we're looking at minimum 2 to 3 weeks on getting this one done, so it's going to be a nice. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm going to do a nice steady pace, sticking to that 30-45 minutes. That seems to be my happy place as far as getting it done and getting it, y'all seem satisfied with that as far as viewers. Trying to think anything else going on. Nothing else, so I'm going to step aside and get started. Be right back. Okay, they're jumping us right in on running our lights on the sides, so first thing to do is get our templates down. So I'm gonna get out the old B7000, just get some. I like to spread out the small dots because it sort of seems to keep things a little more from going everywhere. Still ends up everywhere, but this way I know I can get the glue spread out, and like I say, hopefully not squishing out over the sides like I do sometimes. A little bit closer on this edge. Alright, see, it's already starting to soak into the particle board, so let's get this one down. Get a couple of edges lined up, hopefully, and that's pretty close to. Spread it out, get my little squeegee out, and just. I'm going to cover this one up, so I'm not too worried about making it perfect. We do want to make sure it's down secure, because we are going to glue our lights to this. And getting a little bit of squish out the side there. Yep, looks pretty close to right. And now repeat it for this one. I'm trying to start off with them. trying to get plenty on without going overboard. This one, the crease on the folds in this one's right in the middle of this. That's there and there, so it does tend to make things a little difficult to get them smooth. But again, it line up pretty close to the edges there. Make sure we got good coverage all the way around. Check this one all the way around. It looks like it's, yeah. No, actually, that's probably that on both of them. I'm sure we get good. Yeah, that feels pretty smooth, and like I said, we're going to cover that up with pictures in a second, so I'm just going to let that set aside and start drying while we got to make some angles and whatnot on our lights. And it's got, this is always sort of tricky, but I think I'm going to be able to make it. Even if we don't get it perfect, I think we'll be able to, there's enough wiggle room that we can make it, fine tune it at the end. It's supposed to go on the first one, must be 1.7 centimeters. Of course, I'm not going to get that close, but something like that on the first bend. And then the problem is it doesn't tell how far in between each one's supposed to be. It just gives us the vertical, but that's what we're supposed to be making. So maybe, I guess maybe jump that in. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll just sort of, I'll anchor that down. Okay. This one gets 2 lines, so I will. I don't know which one is which. Okay, this one, the top one goes on this line, so it gets all of them. Let's say lamp number 1 goes off the edge on this guy. So, and I did not check to make sure these were. Yeah, these are both the same. Okay, I was going to make sure I didn't check to see that they were the same, not a different part number on both those. So this should be, we should be good on this. Okay, so this guy is supposed to go right there. So I'm going to use the old hot glue gun. Just give me a dot on lamp holder number 1. I'm stuck over here or something. And pop you in. Swirl around. Get you squish down. Okay, so that's anchored in place. Now, this one should be a straight line there, so let's maybe put the glue on top of this and see if that works any better than trying to squish it down in. So we gotta come up. We are going to put, like I said, we're going to be putting a piece of paper over top of that, so I'm trying to get this fairly smooth. Not the big chunks of glue holding it up. Then, you up. Supposed to go 3.7 centimeters up, it says. How far is that? That's to the light itself. Looks like a little over 4. So bend it back this way. We're still in the 4 range, but I think with some, take some liberties there, 'cause I'm going to do a couple of twists around there to. This may not be the best way to do it. A couple of times around. You come back down. The third one. I'm going to go 3.5 up, so that looks about, that should be about right. So let's glue that one in. Get here. The side maybe. Okay. We got that going. Okay. It's gonna be a mess. I should have maybe, I don't know if it would have worked or not. I should have just left the template on and maybe marked each one with, you know, scoring it so they'd know where, so I could glue straight to the wood. I'm not sure. I don't know if it'd work any better or not. I think it'll be pretty secure. It feels sturdy. Now 3 this way. They're supposed to be. Of course, I melted that glue once it came on. Once I put the other glue on it, so I won't anchor it this time. Looks like. There. Back down. That's about 3.5-ish. So let's see if I can do this. This makes this part a little bit easier too. Just do some twisting on it. And that's slightly shorter than that one, so I think that'll be the way to go. Down on that. Get those 3 going. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a slow process on this part. I hope it picks up. Now, this one is supposed to be 4.8 centimeters, so that seems to have worked. Okay, so I think I'll stick with that method. Where are we at on? Right in the middle of the circle. Yeah, it's going to be able to. We'll see you guys there. Yeah, that looks about right, because this last one's supposed to be right at 1 centimeter, so, or 0.9. That seems like it'd be about right. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to go back and I think I will, as a matter of fact, right now. Put a drop just a little in between them here to make sure you get a little extra reinforcement. everything stabilized. Okay. Likewise, go ahead and do it here. I'm too quick on that one. I'll try again. Yeah, that feels a little more. Yeah, anchor it down a little better. Spider webs of hot glue. Okay. That's the last one. It's supposed to be like so. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Spin you around. So. Go out like that. Stick with this. Oh, one more intermittent anchor. And one last one here on the corner. Okay. And we got that sort of situation with our lights sticking out. So you got all the little spider webs. I'm sure we'll take care of those soon enough. And now got one more run off this way. Let's see. This is where I ran into trouble last time I did something like this, because when I had the one that was off to the second part was too short for what it needed to be, so I'm getting a little nervous about that. But okay, so I think, let's see, so you go off the edge. This one's supposed to be like 0.9 off. But it almost looks like it's just, let's do that, twist in there. So yeah, still have a hard time gauging metric. Yeah, it's probably a little extra, but I'll be alright, I hope. So we're going to put you down right there, so anchor here. Okay, so that's held in place. Another one is supposed to just barely be up right there, but we got that much space in between them. So Okay. But that's what they say, so we'll just I guess go back and forth a couple of times. Because it's only supposed to be off. A little bit. Something like that. Let's just loop that around there so it lines up with our. Okay. And now get our light anchor down. Then 4 is supposed to be 4.3 centimeters up. Get up there, so let's. Yeah, that's about right. Come down that way. And last one, 2.3 centimeters supposedly. So in place. Okay, so that gives us a much tighter twist. So I think that's probably how now that I'm on the last one, finally figured that technique out, and then this is going to go over there eventually. Actually, let's see what happens if I do this first. Hopefully without hitting my finger. Okay. Don't think it'll take near as much now. Okay, yeah, that might be the way to do it now that I'm. Let's see. Well, I still got the other side to do, so it's not total loss. Okay, so then we got this string. I think just get our anchor point in the middle there. Okay. Everywhere. Okay. Try and get all the glue off my fingertips before I dry it off. Okay. Now we got all our I guess all our fireflies. These guys down coming off there. Excellent. Now, which one goes on? This guy supposedly lines up with all these light little holes here. So let me get out my. Should be 9 of these, right? So that's I didn't start counting, so we'll find out together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Now these guys just come through. Should have done it from the other side. Tallest one's first, maybe. Yes. All right. Next. Go down. Okay, this is going surprisingly well. I'm still going to go back and put glue underneath all this, but I think that's going to be, should be okay. Okay. Yeah, that actually lined up. There's stray one up there. I'm not sure. Okay. Should be off that area there. Okay. And it lined up reasonably close to the edges there. Yeah. I was like, it's lumpy where the hot glue was, but that's still, I'm not mad about that. Okay. This one, like I say, with all the lumps in it, I'm just going to do a line around the edge with my B7000. Try to do real light, not too light. There. And there. Not too light, maybe a little more there. Should be friction heat so glue set up quicker. Doesn't take much to make it stick. Alright. And I say I'm not sure exactly where this is going to go, so I'm going to leave that top part where I got some adjustments to it. Yeah, that. Okay, let's say I'm not upset with that. Let's say I was not expecting those to line up that good. It'll pop through just fine. Excellent. Love it. Let's do the other one. I think that'll be a good. Oop. There's only, I think there's 6 on this one. Oop. All these strings everywhere. Okay. I didn't know I was going to turn around and use these right away. I went ahead and wrapped it up. So probably make it my life harder for that. Okay. And we're doing that another one where it starts with a 2 again, so it's gonna have one hanging off. Obviously, got our, I assume, going to the top. Straighten these eyes out. I guess I should go get some batteries to test this these lights out with, because we're going to be that close tonight. Okay, let's see here. What are the measurements on this guy? It's sort of the same style thing. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah, okay, so 6 is the bottom, and the wires go off the edge there. And I'm thinking maybe I'll start with that one and see how it goes from this end. I don't know if that'll work any better or not. Well, yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, because I'm still in the same boat up top. Let's see. Yeah, ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's keep going the way I did do it. So it says 2.6 centimeters up. So yeah. Twist on there. Nice and tight. That is 2. That's ballpark where I want to be on that now. So that's so. There, so let's start off at the top here. Let's actually just anchor it closer to the edge. That is where it's supposed to. Okay. Now those short distance between them and a short light. So another loop to loop it looks like. And just supposed yeah, because we got supposed another 0.9. That's give or take. Oh. You. Well, let's just sort of. Anchor that one underneath, but I think it's still pretty good. Okay. Distance here, so let's sort of spread it up the wire. Okay, now 3. So it's supposed to be 1.7 up. So yeah, just down. That's about right. Yeah, once again, give or take. So let's now we'll put a little chunk in here. And time for a new glue stick. Again over here. Things running. Okay. Hope this is a shorty. Yeah, it's back to the point. Is that? Yeah, that's 5. Yeah, 0.9, so that's going to be one of those. Okay, you locked in. Spread this. Well, maybe it didn't. Okay. Thought I spread it too thin. It just didn't let it dry enough. And another 0.9. So we actually got the loop-to-loop on this one. It looks like. So actually, I can. Yeah, I can just. Yeah. Okay. I got some extra off the top there, but I think the actual LED is pretty close to the point where I want it to be. We'll have to keep that in mind to see how that works out. It should be alright, considering that's really what we were worried about, is the actual light. Okay. Now, run this on out here. And take this down to there. Let me blast at it one more time just to. Alright. Now, so it's the same as the other one. Got this little deal over here. Let's see if I can do it from. I don't think I can do it from the back. I guess I could. Hang on, I got an idea. Just each one started, then I can punch them through to the back. That should make it easier to guide the lights through. Yeah, then they all show up. Yes, yeah. Pull that one the other way too. Alright, so we got 5. Let's see here. And once again, lined right up where we want it. I'm very optimistic now. Okay. Okay, so back to the old B7000 down the edge over here. Ooh, that may be a little bit thicker bead than I did on the other side. Learn my lesson. Swings around there, and now over here. Some back pressure there. Lost my paper towels, so just let that be a mess for a moment. I got all that other glue underneath there, so that's not, it's a little more bumpy, but I think it should be good on the edge there. Yeah, feels like it. Feels like I got on my fingers now. So yeah, definitely got some bleed over. That popped up. This. Looks like it's got the. May need on this edge here just to make sure we stay down. This side seems to be sticking pretty good. This one's, like I say, got that wire running right next to it, so it's sort of fighting against it. Okay, let me go grab some batteries and I'll wire up the battery pack so we can take a look at these lights and see how they work. Right back with that. Okay, for preliminary testing purposes, I'll just use little baby wire nuts. Get all my grays together here. Spin them, twist them off. And our switch. These grays are actually a little bit more gray than they usually are. Usually it's a really light gray and it's hard to tell the white from the gray, but these actually do appear to be reasonably a little bit easier to tell the difference on, so I'm happy for that. Okay, put you in there. There goes Neo to litter box. Let me give her some privacy and we'll finish up. Okay. And I'll strip these wires ends off. Did that one. Gather you all up. Oop. Got one more to go, but okay. Oh. And other end. Alright, and they do work. That's good to see. They got us a nice glow of fireflies, it looks like. Oh, yeah, they are all lit up. I forgot which one was which, so I didn't. Okay, I don't guess those clamps have been on long enough now. They should be good to go. Alright, so we've got our fireflies ready to go on our sides. So that's, I think we could have done better, but I've still had that. So far, that's the best method I've found, is using the hot glue gun. For a while there, I was using the UV epoxy Bondic stuff, but it seems like this is much more. You know it's done when it's done. Or the Bondic didn't always. It didn't always grip good too. So I think I'm happy I moved over to this. But that's plenty for tonight. I know. I wanted to get more done, but once I started seeing all the wiring going back and forth, I knew it was going to be, that was about it. But I'll call it there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share, do whatever you want to with all that. Be good to one another, stay safe, and click on the link. There's my channel up there if you want to subscribe. There's my other channel. I'm going to have an experiment up tomorrow on that one. Should be, I think, fairly interesting, a little bit of a throwback. This is what YouTube thinks you should be watching, and once I get more than one video, this will be the playlist for this build. See you tomorrow.